Hey yo, it's another video, so let's go. All right, so did my I did something out here, some spiritual stuff out here. But when I show you, you're gonna understand, and I'm gonna break down the certain small nuances about this whole situation. It can be I'll just say this: it can be a lot of distractions, and distractions don't mean shit unless you give them any attention. So, with that being said, when you're doing any type of spiritual work, don't let anything outside yourself get in your way, because you gotta remember, when you do let that stuff get to you, you breaking your concentration of what you're trying to get accomplished, or what you're gonna get accomplished. Okay, so all right, this is what I'm doing. All right, I'm out here. Okay, so if I'm out here, you see mountains, you see trees and all that. Yeah, that mountain out there is pretty cool like that. But yeah, out here now. But that's just a piece of it. So this right here, I don't know if you can see it behind the bars. So you can understand where I'm coming from with this. So remember, like I said, anybody or anything outside yourself, like a god or anything like that, ain't shit. If you give them attention, that's when they make themselves prevalent. And then if you do, then you're losing yourself. So they don't mean shit, just like God don't mean shit. So just like that, you got to keep that in your mind. Remember that shit. Okay, so when I did what I did out here spiritually, whatever, I'm not gonna disclose what I did, but it was very successful. I can tell by certain signs of the elements. But out here, this is like a spot out here they had placed for a governor of past. Yeah, we got, nosy people out here. So as you can see, this governor was placed in a pyramid. So I did all the reading on it before when I got up here, and read like certain signs and boards or whatever, showing different things about him. It's actually his. It's gonna be some funny stuff when I looked at it, the dates and all of that. I will break it down and tell you what certain things mean when the ancestors make things happen. You gotta be able to look at it in a different light, because everybody say, oh, this person died on this day, this person died on this day, but it's always a reason behind why a person died on a day, and and a person died on this day or that day. It's always a reason behind it. But if you're not paying attention to what it is, or don't know what it is, what you're looking at, it's almost like looking at something in mythology. If you're watching something in a movie, they can put it in a movie and you don't know what it is. So let me get right to it. Yeah, one of them busters had to leave. I've taught, hey, you gotta speak your energy. You gotta touch somebody to make a move. Push your energy out, okay? But this governor, I'm gonna give you his name soon. He was I don't know if you can see it because the sun is kind of bright, but I don't like, since you noticed, the sun is going to the west. It's evening time right now. It's like 5 something right now. So how they set it up, it could be masonically set up, because, well, we are highly melanated people, so-called black people. We are the original Masons in the world, not like the Masons they have now, where they took all the rituals we left behind and they used them. No, we, like, Imhotep was the original first Mason that had built the first directly the perfect pyramid. So this pyramid is directly behind it, and while it's setting, so that means they had set it up perfectly when the sun would come right over it. So if you would see it while I was doing my ritual, I was in the shade. I'm like, why? Like, I know the shade isn't moving. It's not moving because I was like, oh, that must be the west, and where I was sitting at was on the east side. That's why it was dark on the pyramid, the side of the pyramid I was on. So this would be the north, and this would be the south, leading into like the city parts. But that's the west. That would be going to Phoenix right there. All right. So Okay, it's in Arizona. I'm gonna read it. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna read it for you. After Arizona achieved statehood in 1912, this is where you see George W.P. Hunt is a descendant of that's the governor, but is a descendant of the Revolutionary War patriot of John Christian. So anybody that was like back in those times, like a war patriot, is not what was up for us, or what was meant for highly melanated people, so-called black people. So I'm gonna continue reading on. So you got like a understanding where I'm coming from with this. After Arizona achieved statehood in 1912, the women of Arizona, supported by Governor Hunt, gained the right to vote in any election or on any question submitted to the peoples. Marker placed by Governor George W.P. Hunt chapter, Daughters of American Revolution. All right, so 2004. If y'all in the history, look up the American Revolution. Now, so what I'm gonna do is, since things are a little, I wouldn't say difficult, it's just a little things you gotta maneuver. All right, so it says the pyramid on top of the hill is Hunt's tomb. Okay, the final resting place of Arizona's first state governor, George W.P. Hunt. Hunt is entombed with his wife, Duet, and 5 members of their extended family. It's her family. Okay, let's see. In his diary, Hunt wrote, "It is a beautiful monument, and the sight of the hill is wonderful." Okay, he was born in Missouri, came to Globe, Arizona in 1881. Remember, 18 and 81 are powerful numbers. 18, Isis, Aset. 81, Heka, Hecate. So remember, when they were in that those groups or masonic groups, they know what these times of or these dates mean. He might not be prevalent to it, but our ancestors may put something here for us to come and get. See, like over there, right over there, those were a certain aboriginal, indigenous people were, original dark-skinned people were. They'll live in these areas, but like they'll put a monument close to these areas. Just like you see like a church, or you see a synagogue or a mosque close to one of those areas, because that's how they are able to take or venerate power from those areas. They'll siphon it. So you got to remember that when he had this built, he wanted this here for a reason, because they knew what this was all about out here. So let me keep going. He was known as the Old Walrus, or Walrus, a walrus with a mustache. Due to his stout body and impressive mustache, he became state governor in 1912, serving a record 7 terms. Okay, a man of the, let me read this part. He supported women's suffrage years before the federal government. Okay, but here's the good part right here. So it says, why a pyramid? Oh, here goes his wife. She's buried in there with him, and his in-laws. So he can't he can't get rid of his in-laws if he wanted to. But yeah, that's just a joke. Fuck out of here. But anyway, Helen Duet Ellison Hunt was charming, graceful, skillful. She rode horses and played with guns. All right. Hunt, why a pyramid? Yeah, why a pyramid, since none of your ancestors had anything to do with a pyramid? So Hunt was inspired by the grandeur of the pyramids at Giza. But at Giza, they have 3 pyramids. It's 3 pyramids as in Orion's belt. They line up geometrically with everything out in the solar system, downward onto the physical plane. So that's when he says the Pyramid of Giza. You'll see 3 of them. While traveling abroad, upon Duet's death in 1931, he arranged to have their own pyramid built. So his wife died in 1931, 3 years before he did. But here's the funny part, though. I'm gonna show y'all a little bit. He decided to have a pyramid built. He joined her after passing away on Christmas Eve. So I'm gonna tell you what all this means soon. On Christmas Eve, 1934. So 3 years later, after she died, he died. In 2008, the tomb was restored and placed on the National Register of Historic Places by the National Society of Daughters of the American Revolution, Governor George W.P. Hunt chapter. Okay, so right here, as you can see the date. Let me show you the date. Like I always said, dates are important. Well, I didn't say this. Bobby Hemmett, the teacher Bobby Hemmett. See, you got to know how to move at the right time and to do certain things. But anyway, with Bobby Hemmett, he always says dates are important. He was, as a child, when he was in school, he always knew how to remember things by dates. So now looking at the dates now, there's a deity named Abraxas. It's a rooster deity. Coptic. Coptic is later day Egyptian, early Christianity, right? So Abraxas is celebrated. Now, I did this before, this ritual. I didn't get the book, but I was able to use whatever the ancestors told me to get. I went to the store and I did it myself like 2 years ago. Yeah, so it's 2022 right now. So 2020. Okay, so yeah, so 2020. I did a fried chicken breast. A fried chicken breast. And man, you're supposed to fry the chicken because of Abraxas. It's a fried chicken recipe way back in Egypt, talking about showing you how to put the recipe together. So I didn't have the book that was showing it. So I was like, I went off of whatever what I saw in the store and told me to pick up, and I got it. So on December 24th, that's like I said, I read earlier before, he died on Christmas Eve, but Christmas actually is a day of Abraxas. That's a deity, so he didn't even make it to the day of that deity Abraxas. That's a rooster deity. So in Egyptian or Kemet, so he might have this here, but that's not his lineage. So he'll be in awe of something outside of what his actual lineage is. And so also want to show you here too also, Helen Ellison, she died on what? April the 18th, right? Oh no, let me before I go to that part. Now, it says they got married. Now check this out. You got to do the research on everything. Now I didn't research them, but when you do the research on certain things, like if you ever get the Book of the Law by Aleister Crowley was written in the year of what? 1904, right? So they got married February, that's 2/24, 1904. But the Book of the Law was written, what was it? 4/8, 4/9, well, April the 8th, April the 9th, and April the 10th. Okay? So let's keep going. So in the same year of, so you gotta be able to keep up with these dates. What else? If they was married in 1904, and then his wife Helen, she passed on. Now think about this. The date, one of the numbers in the Book of the Law. Now this I was just sitting here before I started. I was looking at the numbers, but right when I finished doing what I was doing for my spiritual stuff up here, I got up, I stood up and turned around behind me because I had this behind me, and I was looking like, wait a minute. I looked at the date. She died on 4/18. So if anybody knows anything about the Book of the Law, see, I just looked down on the time on the how much I have is 333 just passed, or 1333, which is the same thing. Or 13 is a powerful number if you use the reflex. 31 is a powerful number too also, but let's keep going. 4/18. 4 plus 1 is what? 5. 5 plus 8 is what? 13. 13 is an unlucky number to different people because that's death. Death means they don't have a soul. If they don't have a soul, that means they have to do everything they can while they down here. And regardless, those same people I'm talking about, they're around me. And I have no fear of nothing. Trust me, if I don't fear God or feel nothing like that, why would I fear a person? So ain't nobody gonna put their hands on me. I will dead you out here and leave you. It don't matter. But anyway, let's keep it going. So 4/18, that was the day she had she had died, left this third dimensional plane, right? So like I said, 4 plus 1 is what? 5. 5 plus 8 is what? 13. That's the number of what? Death. 13, right? So if she died, and that means what? But that's the number of what? Melanin. If you ever go into the what is that? Nordic mythology. If you ever go into what is that? Sumerian mythology. Those numbers deal with Aiwass, and Aiwass comes out of what? Out of the book of the law. Like how is like actually that's 3 different places in in Germany, in Summeria, and in Egypt. 3 different places: Summeria, Germany, and Egypt. These are 3 different places of 3 different mythologies. 3 different mythologies showing me the same thing. So if they were mind your business, if they was trying to venerate something outside of themselves, that means what? That means it doesn't belong to them. So he can put this up here, but it's not a part of his lineage. So what that means? Highly melanated people, so-called black people, that means you got to come up here and do your spiritual stuff. So that's why it's up here. They'll tell these people to build it for them. So hey, if it don't belong to them, you come up here and do something about it. Don't worry about it, because look, they're not gonna do nothing. They're gonna just look at you and walk off. Trust me, they won't do shit. I'm telling you. Anyway, 418, like I said, 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 8 is what? 13. And look, the year she died is what? 1931. Like a reflex of 31 is what? 13. So anyway, you see right here, the entombment of George W.P. Hunt. We see colorful Arizona pioneer and statesman, member of various territorial legislators. President Arizona Constitutional Convention, 1910, elected as Arizona's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 10th governor to set a national record. Also entombed here, his wife, Death, her parents, the J.W. Ellisons, and her sister, Lena Ellison. Man, he can't get rid of his in-laws, but that's the thing. But now this is why. This is why. So now I'm sitting here telling you this, but look, in the Eastern Hemisphere, they always it was a what was it? It wasn't a patriarchal society. It was a matriarchal society by the woman. So that's why he put his in-laws or his wife's side of the family in there. So he got to make the ritual go all the way through by putting his wife's side of the family in there. 1717 just passed. 17 is a powerful number too. Zane, reflex, lamb. But let's keep going. So this is very. I look at it. I'm like, wait a minute. This is very masonically or occult built. But we don't know what it is, or we don't come out here to come and check on what our ancestors made these people build. Who the power gonna go to? It ain't gonna go to nobody. All they gonna do is try to siphon it. But it's the thing, if you know what it is out here, why can't you do something about it? And also, I found one of the family members was close to my birthday. I don't want to say which one and what's the date and all of that. But anyway, but yeah. So to come up here and check it out, and also what you should do is look at it not just for your visual, but highly melanated people, so-called black people. You should do your spiritual thing. If you got a libation list. Like Bobby Hemmett would always have a libation list, and he would scream out those names, spit liquor or whatever. He would spit water. Like mainly he would spit liquor, but if you have water, you know what I'm saying, or if you have liquor, do that. You can do it. Like you come here and spit it. I spit it on. I'm not gonna tell you what I did. I sat here before I did anything. I walked around. I sat here. I said, what should I do? And it came to me. So that's what you should do. You should do. I ain't gonna tell you what you should do. You should do it yourself, and it'll come to you. Because this is put here by your highly melanated ancestors, your so-called black ancestors. They made them have this up here because this is not their lineage. But like that, I saw in the remarks on one of the boards I read earlier, it said that he got the inspiration from the pyramids of Giza. That's nowhere near where your people is from. That's like thousands of miles away from your people. But it inspired him after his wife had passed. But when his wife had passed, he knew to put the rest of her family in there, because on the Eastern Hemisphere, like I said earlier, they venerated the woman. So that's why he put all his in-laws in there with him. So just like how so-called Jay, you know, who the rapper, whatever, Jay-Z, whatever, he tried to take on Beyonce's last name. Same thing, he went Sean Carter Knowles. Same shit. It's just like they put this in front of you, but you don't know what it means, because if you don't have an understanding of you, they just put stuff right. Like it's like somebody talking a triple, a double entendre in front of you, and you don't know what they're saying. Like, this doesn't make any sense, or it makes plenty sense to them. But anyway, let me get up out of here, man. These got suckers all around here, man, trying to siphon energy from me, trying to figure out what I'm talking about. I'm gonna speak in double, triple talk too. I don't give a fuck, man. None of these motherfuckers can do nothing to me, and God ain't shit. Period. Kill God.